Hey, this is Cloakin here with the Heroes of the Dorm Super 16 and Epic 8 highlights. Starting things up with UT Arlington vs Carleton in the round of 16. Game 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen, Arlington's Cho'Gall pick supported stronger team fights and great hooks, like this one by Cure certainly didn't hurt. Then, in Game 2, Carleton went all in on a murky composition that unfortunately didn't end up working out for them. UTA goes on to take the match with a clean 2-0 win. Then, in the round of 8, UTA met their strongest test yet against the crew from Boston College. BC took Game 1 with a convincing win, but in Game 2, UTA pulls out the throwback strat, pairing Tacitar's Archon with Rhaegar's Bloodlust. BC used every tool in their toolkit to try to stop UTA, but it just wasn't enough. The Dark Blaze claims a spot in the Heroic 4. LSU versus Tennessee in the round of 16. Tennessee attempts to build on their Game 1 win here on Infernal Shrines, but LSU fights back with strong team fighting around the objective. In the late game, this mosh pit by Folden, followed up by the Rain of Vengeance by Hecarim, becomes the major turning point, placing Game 2 firmly in the hands of LSU. In Game 3, the power of Sonya's Leap prevails as Tennessee fights back, taking Game 3 and the series. In the round of 8, UTA faced off against the returning team from Washington. Game 1 on Dragonshire found UTA in control of the objectives, with strong gust play coming from Rafflecopter on Falstad. Washington was unable to take a single Dragon Knight the entire game. Game 2, Washington responds with a ban on Falstad and solid objective play, taking the series to Game 3. Then once again, Raffle picks up the Wildhammer Thane, giving Tennessee all the tools it needed to close out the series 2-1. Turning our attention to UCONN, round of 16 versus Ohio State, this horrible maul from Seryu hits from the bushes as UCONN builds on their Game 1 victory. Lunar Flare and Mosh Pit to follow, there is nothing Ohio State can do against that. UCONN grabs the late game Dragon Knight as their team dances their way to the core. Ohio State falls to the Tricky Turtles, who move on to the round of 8. There they met the returning champions from last year, Cal Berkeley. Switching up their normal cautious play style for one that favored aggressive rotations, UConn managed to catch Hampro on Zagara in a constant loop throughout the early game, thanks to the mobile support of Chiruno on Falstad. Cali tried to turn on the aggression, but UConn sealed the deal with a medevac all-in on the core. UConn takes their spot in the Heroic 4 with a 2-0 win. And lastly, the ASU story, starting with University of Pennsylvania in the round of 16. Game 1 going to ASU, we take it to Sky Temple, where UPENN did what they could to play against the 3-level lead of the Real Dream Team. But Arizona State countered with prepared aggression, pushing back Team DAYUN at every turn. They took the series convincingly, 2-0. In the round of 8, Arizona State faced off against the underdogs from East Carolina. With Michael Udall on Illidan, ASU systematically took apart the split resources of ECU and established dominant control. Then in Game 2, East Carolina saw a good bit of success in team fights around the Immortals, but ASU claims the victory and the final spot in the round of 4.